Rachel, we're live.
We are live. Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Absolutely superb. Lovely to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. And so you and I met at the empowerment group, and we still have not met in real life. And you seem like a lifelong friend to me. So
I
how
know.
bizarre is that?
I never think about whether or not we've met in real life or Zoom life because I just feel like I know you so well. I've gone past that, you know.
You've gone past the hugging.
I've gone past the whether or not we've actually sat and been in the same space as each other because I just feel like I know you so well.
Oh, that's good. Likewise. So the whole thing about today is learning and development platforms, right? And I'm trying to build my business, and I'm doing this LinkedIn training, and we had a little chat offline or following one of my posts. And you're a bit of an expert on this, aren't you?
Expert is maybe not the title, but I'm certainly well practiced at selecting L&D platforms, like doing side-by-side comparisons, testing them. And I've got 2 in my business at the moment. So yeah, I know a thing or 2 about L&D.
Okay, so tell everybody that's watching, what is it you actually do then, please?
Okay, so I am now a sales and business coach in the online space. That was a pivot for me, like midway through the first lockdown that we had.
So did you say pivot?
That was a pivot.
I've never heard that word.
Is that swear box? Is that swear
No,
box?
it's not. It's not.
But obviously, I used to have a face-to-face training and coaching consultancy for 5 years. And then obviously all the face-to-face stuff fell away and the online space was beckoning me in, even though I hated the look of it. I thought it looked arrogant, egotistical, money-driven, all the things that I don't want to be associated with. But it lured me in and now I'm absolutely loving it because I get to work with people all over the world. I've got clients in about 12 different countries.
Wow.
And I teach them how to grow and scale an online coaching business, and I love it.
Well, it shows. And give a plug to your podcast. I listen in every single week, so you have to let everybody know about your podcast.
Oh, thank you. It's called Building Online Sales Success. So I recorded episode 30 yesterday, and I release an episode every Tuesday, as you know, because I'm sure you've got an ear pod in while you're walking the dog. And yeah, I'd love everybody to have a listen and give me their feedback, give me their thoughts, maybe let me know what topics you want me to talk about, because although it's called Building Online Sales Success, I touch on things like mindset, imposter syndrome, the things that can really hold us back from sales, because sales in itself is not that difficult. It's all the noise around it which kind of gets in the way. So I tackle a lot of that stuff too.
Fantastic. I couldn't think of a better guest to help me with this today. We've got some visitors as well, so I'm going to bring them in later. So we've got Lawrence, and we've got Luke, and we've got Reha. Guys, I don't know if you want to put your contact details in the chat, in the comment section. If you go into LinkedIn and put your names in the comment section so that people can see you. I've literally just tested. Comments are coming in. So if anyone's got any questions for Rachel or for these wonderful people, then please do. But so I'm planning to have some of my coursework up online, right? And so I need something. All right. So how do I, why should I get one? Why should I get a learning development platform? Because at the moment I'm doing it live, and I'm using Eventbrite and stuff like that. So why should I get an L&D platform? And I'll tell you what, before I did this, right, I just thought there was 1 or 2. There's loads. There's a huge market. So come on, why do I need an L&D platform?
There are so many out there. And the first thing I'll say, in answer to that is you don't need one. You don't actually. You don't actually need one. It depends what type of business you really want to build. You know, if you want to scale your business and you want to serve global clients and you really want to go big with your business, then you absolutely need an L&D platform. If, however, you've got, you know, humble goals and you don't need to really sell that many courses, then actually you don't really need one. I know people that are doing over 100K a year and they're housing all of their L&D resources inside a Google Drive. Yeah, so you could get away without one. Personally, because I've got an L&D background, I was always going to start my business right from the get-go with an L&D platform because I'm building a big business. I'm building a global business and I'm going for, you know, big income levels, not just for me. Obviously, I need to make money too, but I want to help a lot of people. And I couldn't face the growth of a business where it felt really manual, you know. So the reason why I would advocate for an L&D platform is for customer experience. That would be number one for me. Customer experience. So a platform that allows you to offer really seamless client onboarding, client offboarding, to house client questions. You know, the whole learner journey involves some interaction, or it certainly should. It shouldn't just be a case of here's a resource, go read it, now you're an expert. You need to offer some interaction. A good L&D platform will offer things like gamification, quizzes, surveys. It'll allow downloads, PDFs, videos, live delivery. A good L&D platform will have all of those things, and that makes for a really good client journey. And the reason that client journey is the number one thing is that no matter how great your course, no matter how great the transformation that you offer, nobody's going to achieve that if they don't finish the course. And they're not going to finish the course if the learning journey is crap. So that's why client journey is the most important thing.
Yeah, interesting. I like that. Lawrence is nodding. Do you want to come in and say anything on that, Lawrence? No, he doesn't. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, and so that's the thing. So I can carry on doing this live. All right. So I do. Oh, hang on. There we are. That's the way to get in, guys. Luke and Varun, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, we share what we do later, but I think just to add on to what Rachel said, I think it's fundamental that every sort of platform that's in this space understands learner journey. And I think, you know, a lot of the learning development platforms, because we're creators ourselves, we have our own course. We teach podcasting, by the way. We're an Apple Top 20 podcast hosts. But we do realize that learner journeys are a problem, which is why we created our own platform. But that's a story for another day. Because we've tried out multiple different platforms, and we've seen that there's so many features, and we call this feature creep, that exist. It's very complicated for the student as well as the teacher. So I think that seamless learner journey where you go from start to finish, and as you said, gamification, so online quizzes, plus the ability to have community at the heart of what you're doing, and the ability for the platform to support that is so key.
Yeah, and I think I'd just add on to that, something that we've really learned, and there's a lot of studies coming out about this, is the difference between the completion rates when you have live elements and you have a cohorts that are really taking it all together. There was actually this really interesting study done by some professors at Stanford that the average MOOC has like a completion rate of something like 3 to 6%, because if it's self-paced, if there's no interaction, there's no accountability, it can really damage ultimately the learner experience that they have, which if you're an instructor, that's why you're doing it. You want to, not only do you want to build an income, but you want to make an impact on the students. So yeah, that's some learnings we've had as well.
By the way, just like a preface, MOOCs are, for anyone listening, massive online open courses. Just thought I'd clarify that.
No, thank you. I just thought he was talking to foreign names. That's
so they're
awesome.
Basically pre-recorded courses. So think of like an Udemy or a Coursera, where there's hardly any community, and it's majorly just one-way communication that takes place.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that my workshops are really successful, is because they come in for a week, and within that week we've built this community. And if I put it online, if I can have that as well, That is absolutely superb. So I think I'm going to talk to you guys for a bit longer, but obviously not on this show because we've got a load of other things. Reha, I see you've just shared your camera. Did you want to come in and say something on this? Yes, you do. Okay. Thanks, guys. Morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Ashley. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
So yeah, I think I do agree with, a lot of what was said regarding, the live content altogether, bringing in that sort of engagement. Because as much as how Rachel mentioned, if you're trying to kind of grow and scale your business, that's probably where, an LMS or an L&D platform probably comes in. But I guess it's pretty key to be live and actually be of more, kind of interactive in terms of what your clients, in terms of what their needs are as of today when you're just starting up. So with that, I guess just a platform like a Zoom or maybe somewhere to kind of just keep, track of what's their experience, taking their feedbacks. It kind of works. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to talk about my platform, but probably sometime later as well.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks ever so much. Cool. We've got some questions coming in as well. So let's just go with those. We were just talking about this young lady, weren't we? Photographer extraordinaire. Okay, to the stars. She's gonna be picking your brains. Thanks for saying hi there, Aisling. And any thoughts about relative newcomer Samcart? Ben, is that another L&D platform? Is it? I'm guessing that these are.
Sam. Yeah, I've looked at Samcart and Thrivecart before I got into my new platform. We're using a platform called Zenler, and the main reason that I moved to that platform was because of the number of features that it had inside it, which would allow me to then switch off other things that we had going on. But the main reason was global taxation. So when it comes to selling L&D, I'm a VAT registered business, and the VAT rules are different whether your course is live or whether your course is a digital service. And the platform that I was using didn't handle that very well at all. So I was looking at Samcart and Thrivecart as a way to sort of sit in between that user journey, where at the point where they paid, Samcart would allow really, easy entry to the course, but it also builds funnels. So it'll allow you to build a sales page and a checkout page and have upsells and order bumps and all the things that allow you to scale your course. So if you're ever going to plan to drive Facebook ads to your course, then you're going to need maybe an order bump on that user journey to pay for the cost per lead that you have to pay for Facebook ads. So yeah, Samcart is, it looks good, but when I looked at the cost side by side, I could get the whole learning platform for the same price as I could get Samcart. So it was a no-brainer for me.
Okay, cool. So the first thing, so the question is, what's the first thing I look for when selecting an L&D platform? I guess is going to be the learner journey.
Getting the highest completion rates possible, yeah, and making sure that you understand what the different learning styles really are. I've delivered my courses in a number of ways. I've done group coaching in cohort, so everybody starts on the same day and everybody finishes on the same day. And I've now moved my courses to evergreen, which means that people can onboard anytime. And I build my group coaching program like a course with all the modules in the background. And the live delivery is mainly around hot seat coaching and Q&A. So that allows me to have an evergreen program where I'm not having to say to, a learner that wants to come in, oh, sorry, the next cohort doesn't start for 2 months, in which case you're turning away income into your business. Having it evergreen means it's always onboarding, and you can welcome students and clients in anytime. So completion rates important, learner journey, absolutely. But you really do need to understand that some people learn fast and some people learn slow. So some people will come into a group program and they will go through every single module, every single lesson, and they want to do it at top speed. And other people will think, well, actually, no, I know I'm going to get weekly support from the coach or the trainer, and I'm going to go at the pace that they take me at. I'm not going to go ahead. And then you get other people that come just for the live element and don't go into the modules at all. So you kind of need to build your program, your course, to cater for all of the different styles. People like to watch video. Some people don't like to watch video. Some people prefer audio. Some people like to read. Some people, like to just have live teaching. So you do need to cater for all of those styles if you want to have the optimum completion rate.
That makes a lot of sense. So what else am I looking for when I get an L&D platform?
Well, I mean, the guys touched on it. Community. I believe that the best platforms that are going to, take us through 2022 into 23, 24, 25 will be the platforms that allow for community, because, well, we had it demonstrated to us, didn't we, a couple of months ago when Instagram and Facebook just completely went puff and like nobody could access anything. There are thousands of paid courses out there where part of the paid service includes a pop-up Facebook group, and that's how they build community. So of course, the minute that Facebook goes down and your community can't access the coach, that gives you a massive problem, from an obvious customer service point of view, but also you are not in control. Then you're running a business, you're taking income from people, but you're then not in control of the way that you deliver the service that they get, which for me as a business owner, I don't like not being in control of whether or not my clients get a good experience. So, Mark Zuckerberg is not really going to care about whether my clients are happy or not, because he's got the drama of having his whole platform down. Meanwhile, all of us teachers, coaches who have got these pop-up groups are like stressing out. So yeah, the more that you can have community in a platform, the better.
Right, perfect. And so, what about things like Udemy?
Not a fan. It
Because
feels like commodity training, and I don't think you get the completion rates. So okay. I'm not a fan.
No, and you're laughing there. Do you want to come in and say anything? Go on, Farron. Why are you laughing?
No, because personally, this is my sort of view. I love Udemy for what it is, but if I have to learn something, I'm not going to go to Udemy per se. Like it's like edutainment. Like if I'm taking a walk or if I'm in the bathroom or something, I'll probably put on an Udemy course and I'll listen to it. But again, like there are things, Luke just mentioned about the study, 3 to 6% completion rates. That speaks volumes of why. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Because you're listening to something, there's anyway digital saturation that takes place. There's hardly any community. So when you actually go down the fundamentals of why Udemy it's a lack of community, it's a lack of that engagement. So if you're just someone who wants to have a quick glance over a topic and not really go in depth, it's great. But again, I think Udemy also takes a substantial amount of revenues from the instructor. So you're really unless you're doing multiple courses that are doing really well, only then can you actually make a living from Udemy. But apart from that, you're not going to get much money per se. And this is from experience, because we were considering doing a course on Udemy, but we turned it down. So yeah, that's one thing. And the other thing is, of course, the ability to then sort of, have these live interactions, which is why then you need to go onto another platform like a Facebook or something once you have an Udemy course. So many Udemy instructors have Facebook groups that they link you to say, join my Facebook group to discuss content here.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for jumping in. Excellent. So how do people buy your online courses then, Rachel? Because one of the platforms I'm looking at actually has, they market it for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do any of that stuff because nobody's going to care about marketing my program more than I am.
Oh, I love that answer. No, absolutely. Totally agree.
I think, you're building a course, you're building a program because you are the expert, in which case, if you're the expert, use that expertise to build your audience and your authority so that you can sell your own courses. For me, those two things, audience and authority, are the two gateways to you being a course seller that can make a good income from courses. If you don't have audience, you're going to fail. If you don't position yourself as an authority, you're going to fail. So yeah, I wouldn't go in for somebody else marketing my course, because I want to position myself as the expert that's credible enough to buy the course from in the first place.
Yeah, no, perfect. And you do that in spades, don't you? Oh, hang on. Reha's got something she wants to add. Go on.
I think I absolutely agree with what Rachel said regarding marketing your own courses, because, you know, I mean, when you're looking, so actually a good way to kind of look at these platforms is they offer a marketplace, you know, where people can kind of buy off different courses as well. Now, this does come from, you know, different places altogether. So when you're offering a marketplace, you do come in with the, you know, risk of maybe self-sabotaging or probably self-cannibalizing your own audiences as well. So, you know, that basically, I mean, there's going to always be someone who is probably selling it cheaper, though that's not a good factor to go with, but that's usually what the audience picks. And like Rachel said, I think the course creator herself or himself would be the best person to be the spokesperson or, you know, the marketer for their own courses. It would be wise, or probably even, you know, the students or the learners of that particular course could be maybe an affiliate or a referee for that course. That works a lot more, like, I think, credibly.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So my platform needs to have an affiliate link.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, perfect. Thanks ever so much. So Rachel, do any of your platforms have an affiliate link?
Yes, they do.
There we go. So that's interesting to know. Yeah. And so is that where you get a more of your revenue from, is because you've got all these raving fans that are, you know, quite happy to share your stuff?
To be honest, I haven't gone down that road too much yet. That's not like a big income stream for me. You know, there's two things. Like the platform that I use, I'm an affiliate for them. So if somebody wants me to recommend it and I believe it's the right thing, then I will make money from them buying the program or, you know, the platform. But also, yeah, we can set up affiliate links for raving fans to go out and to talk about it. I do all sorts of things for like retention and loyalty and clients to go and tell other people. Things like I've got a graduate vault inside my group program. So anybody that graduates, they can leave behind a masterclass on their area of expertise so that all the other people that come through get to, you know, get that extra level of training. So for me, it's a benefit because my material is getting richer and richer and richer all the time. But also it's a benefit for the graduates because, you know, they've got that extra incentive that they need to build this masterclass, you know, like this really great lead magnet masterclass, but also they leave it behind so that they get extra eyeballs on it. So, and that opens up collaboration opportunities, and that all then feeds into that audience and authority piece that I was talking about.
Oh, I love that. Love that. Do you use any of your platforms for lives?
I don't at the moment, but the platform that I have chosen has Zoom inside it. So it has a Zoom account built into it. It has a community built into it. It's got quizzes and surveys and all the things that I need built into it.
Perfect. Okay. So what about marketing and mailing and keeping in touch with your clients? Do you do that in a CRM or do you do that through your platform?
So I've got two ways to mail my clients. I've got one master mailing list, which sits in an email platform. And I've also got email automation, which sits inside the learning platform. So in terms of like what's inside the platform, you can build assets that are either funnels or courses. So courses are where you can sell it for an income, or you can offer it free. So you have that choice, but funnels are always free. You don't put a price on a funnel. That's just your way of bringing people in through a lead magnet. So for example, we have a funnel which is about to go live now, which is a completely passive evergreen funnel, but it's built from a 4-day boot camp that I delivered in January. So I delivered it live. There was huge interaction. There was 112 people in it. There was some amazing results. One lady went from selling 12 courses to selling 60 in January, just from the free content that I shared on the boot camp. And now what we've done is we've taken all of that learning, we've built it into a free, we're going to offer it free, even though it's got a price of $997. We're going to offer it free for the first 500 people that want to dive into it. And then we'll start selling it at $997. So, you know, there's that whole audience building piece, which is so important, that you deliver it live, you know it converts, you know that it gets good feedback, you know that it gets results. Then you turn that into an audience builder, and you know that credibility carries on, and you get to like raise your position as an authority on that subject. But then you're building an asset that is going to create passive income into your business for, you know, the long term. So it's a whole process. The whole marketing piece is where people tie themselves in knots with this stuff, because passive income sounds very appealing. People think, oh, make money while I sleep. Brilliant. How do I do that? Where do I do that? The answer is that's a load of BS. There is no such thing as passive income. You cannot make money in your sleep as a course creator, because you have to build the asset. You have to build the asset, which takes energy and work. And then you also have to become a marketing expert. Otherwise, you're not going to sell it. So passive income is not something that exists in the course creation world, even though there are people out there terming it as passive income. It's not passive.
Excellent. So every time you see those videos coming up on YouTube, you'll go, oh my God, it's another one.
Yeah, it's not passive, you know, like, I mean, I know what they're getting at. I have that moment, you know, I've experienced that moment where you wake up in the morning and you look at your mobile and you're like, sale. I've had that in my inbox. I know what they mean by make money while you sleep. But that thing that's just been bought has taken me years to learn and experience. You know, all the mistakes I've ever made have been put into that asset. I've then had to, you know, deliver and record the asset, and then have to build the audience, which takes a lot of time, and then market to the audience and convert the audience. Well, there's nothing passive about that. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Lawrence is dying to say something here. Go for it.
Yeah,
Lawrence.
thanks, guys. Yeah, I wanted to just chip in off the back of what Rachel had said there about it not being a passive process. I absolutely agree. And the other thing that you've got to remember here is that you need to be able to understand what's being effective for your audience and what's being effective for your learners. It's not a once and done thing, making these assets and sticking them up online and then going to sleep, like Rachel says, and then you wake up a millionaire in the morning. You need to be looking for a platform that's got a way of you actually diving into the analytics of what's actually effective. Are people completing things? Are people learning what you want them to learn? Are they having a great experience while they're doing it? And are they going to come back and give you more money for another one? So if you just think that you're going to make your asset, make your course, pop it up on a platform, and then you're, you know, magically going to make money from it, it really, really doesn't work like that. I couldn't agree more, Rachel.
It's funny, isn't it? Everybody's got the same like experience. You know, I'm surrounded by people constantly that are like, yeah, I want to do that passive income thing, Rach. Can you help me do that? And I'm like, let me tell you about passive income.
No, listen, like I've got a background in data science, so I know that that's not a passive pursuit. You know, you don't sit there going, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna have all the information in front of me, all of my data sets, all of my feedback from my learning interventions. And I'm not going to sit there and go, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just leave it. It's probably all fine. I'll pop that to one side and just forget about it. No, that is almost part of the process. And then if we're talking about looking for learning platforms, I would say high on people's agenda should be look for something that gives you those insights. Obviously, you've got to do something with them afterwards. You've got to react to it. You've got to hone your learning materials. You've got to, make sure that things are optimized for your audience. But don't think that you're just going to be able to pop something up on Udemy, on YouTube or what have you. And passive monetization, I couldn't agree more. It's not really the way to go with this. It's part of the work, you know.
Love that. I love your energy as well. Thank you ever so much. I think I've come to the end of my questions. So as you're here, Lawrence, tell us in 60 seconds all about Verti.
Absolutely. Can I share? I can do screens on this. I can do slides.
There should be something at the bottom that says share.
Yeah, let's do it. Share screen. Okay. Let's do it. So Verti in 60 seconds. What is Verti? So we believe at Verti that you learn by doing, not by passively watching. So this off the back of what we were just talking about with passivity. So you can deploy courses, but the idea is that you're going to make experiential learning interventions for your learners. And how do you do that? We've got 3 main tools that you can use. So we've got a content creation suite. So you can take your media, your video, your audio, your images, your slides, and you can basically transform them into interactive experiences for your audience. We have a virtual human module. So these are basically programmable role play actors that you can use to train your learners in sort of soft skills, sales approaches, customer service, whatever you'd like, really, they're customizable. We've also got that built-in live option as well. So if you've got live classes or workshops that you want to be delivering to your learners, you can do that through our built-in streaming service called Verti Studio. You can get that data that I was talking about, that all-important data, gather feedback from your learners as they're completing these learning experiences, and then also follow up with that deep dive into analytics across all of your learning experiences to see what's effective, what's really hitting the mark, and what you need to sort of optimize and change a little bit more. That's my 60 seconds up. So if you want to chat to me some more, hit me up on LinkedIn or talk to me, Lawrence@verti.com.
Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if anyone's got any questions for you there, Lawrence. But if they have, please put them up. Have you got any questions for Lawrence, having seen that, Rachel?
No, I mean, it looks good. I like the role play chap. That's really good.
Yeah. So those are customizable avatars, a bit like when you set up a video game when you're kind of creating a character in a role play. But you can program them with your own training scripts. So we see people use them for sales training, for customer service training, sort of conversation management, conflict resolution, all of the things that employers are putting really, really high on their list of desirable skills for people to have, especially now that the world of work has changed so much over the last couple of years. So that was the whole kind of driving reason behind the role play actors. Obviously, it's a scalable tool as well. It's something that can be deployed. Traditionally, you might have to get role play actors to come into work. It's incredibly expensive. It's time consuming. Not everyone's going to be there on the right day. Some people find it really awkward. I know I do find it really awkward when you do those sort of role play scenarios at work that make me cringe. The whole kind of rationale behind that is people can do it in their own time, lower their anxiety and hopefully up those completion rates as well. And it also lets them just put stuff into practice rather than just passively watching a whole bunch of videos. Actually, if I should go and do something afterwards and feel what it would be like to be in that challenging scenario. So that's what the virtual humans are all about.
That sounds great. I mean, from a lot of the coaches that I work with that want to get into creating these assets, creating courses, supporting their live delivery with assets, they are petrified of being on camera. It does take some practice. I didn't do my first video until I think it was May 2020 it was, and before that I'd been scared to death. Now I do it every day, and it's just something that's in my day. But most people really don't want to do that. So the idea that you could have a role play actor, brilliant.
100%, and that becomes part of what people are expected to do a lot of the time in their roles now, isn't it? Is to do interactions like this, be on Zoom 10 15 times a day. It's just part of the work sometimes. So actually having a way to go and low pressure on demand in your own time, away from the sort of the high pressure environment of having to do it live, go and being able to practice with something, and also get feedback from it as well, because it's not just a one-way street. The virtual humans, they're intelligent. They actually will listen to what the user's putting in and give them feedback as they go. So you're able to sort of get that sort of scaled up experience of live role play training, but you can deploy it to hundreds, if not thousands, of people at the same time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. I can see why you changed your role, mate.
Yeah.
So who wants to go next then? Don't all shout at once. Yeah. So this is like X Factor, isn't it? Guys, let's level up. Go on, tell us all about what you do then.
So we just want to preface this by saying both of us are creators ourselves. We have a top 20 podcast chart. So early on when we wanted to, just like Rachel, when you're seeing different L&D tools and stuff, we actually went through that painful process of experimenting with different tools and saying, how can we teach our craft to the world? And what we realized was none of the platforms out there was actually trying to like help us. They were very expensive, and there were multiple different features, blah blah blah. So we decided, why not create our own?
Like
So
you do.
so what we realized was cohort based courses, there's a lot of literature on this, has extreme completion rates, and we're seeing that right now. So we've trialed it, including ourselves, with 6 instructors, and there are over our platform has been able to achieve over 90% completion rates. So there's probably something right that we're doing. So here's exactly what we do. We specialize in cohort based courses, and we believe that we have the tech. All the tech that you're seeing on current platforms is very easy to actually implement. We call this in our sort of team feature parity. Whatever is out there in the tech can easily be replicable. It might take a little more time, but we can do it. And so all the stuff that you're saying about affiliates, about learner management system, to be able to sort of streamline customer experience, all of that is available on our platform. But we don't pride ourselves on the tech. It's easy to build that. Many companies shamelessly justify that with high costs, but we believe that's not the case. What we pride ourselves on is actually, yes, we are small right now. We're very new, but we spend a lot of time with each instructor. And so what we do is we coach them on a one-on-one, give them personalized assistance as and when needed, to be able to then help them set up their own cohort-based course. And what we've seen across 6 instructors, and now we're working with about 10 plus more instructors now that we've onboarded, each of them like that element more than they like the technology side. Because technology can be built, it's easy to build. We've already built that. But what they actually like and enjoy is the ability for them to go through that with us. We've been there, we've done that, we've gone through the cohort-based courses. We've actually built our own very successful cohort-based course, which is launching once again on the 20th of February, by the way. And we're able to sort of sit with the instructor and do that. So where we pride ourselves on, sure, it's tech enabled. But where we pride ourselves on is being able to understand the pain points of you as a instructor, as you as a creator, because we've been there, we've done that, we've seen the struggles, and we help you achieve that. In terms of marketing and stuff, yes, we have a variety of things. We do templates. For example, basis what you do, we actually have templates that allow you to know what works and what doesn't based on our experience. We also have a bunch of different tooling solutions. So right from intelligent learning management systems, building in course analytics if you wish, or even for that matter, integrating your own community or helping you run your community real time as the cohort starts. All of that is already integrated. And then, of course, we sit with you at the very beginning to plan your cohort in detail to see what works and what doesn't based on our experiences that we've had so far. And eventually, our goal is to obviously build a marketplace. So we're already seeing early signs of that. So if you, for example, publish your course, it also goes onto our platform that attracts traffic. So you very well might find that you are getting traffic organically through our platform as well. And we're seeing early signs of that anyway.
And we wanted to be as creator friendly as possible. So, I mean, we let the creators own 100% of their content. And also we don't charge any upfront fees. So we work on a revenue share basis where we take 10% of revenue made, because we found a lot of the existing cohort-based course platforms and other course platforms, they charge really high monthly fees. And so there's no real incentive for the platform to ensure that the instructor's really building a successful course.
Interesting stuff. I love the way you've gone around it totally differently to many of the other players. So yeah, well done, guys, and good luck. And look forward to talking to you guys in greater detail. Any questions there, Rachel?
No, I think there's a big need for supporting the course creator, because, well, most of my clients are people who want the same thing. Like they want to have the outcome, but they just don't know how to get there. Like one of the most common questions I get asked is, what order do I do all this in? So they know that they have to build the audience. They know that they have to give some value, position themselves as an expert, and do what we call in the coaching industry, do a launch, which could look like, come to my masterclass, come to my free bootcamp, come to my challenge. They know that they have to do that. But then when they plot out those steps, it's like, so I need I need an audience here. I need social media. Then I'm going to invite them to a masterclass. Where do I host that? I need a landing page that's got a good conversion. I then need to automate an email. I'm then going to deliver it. Then I've got to build the actual course. What order do I do it all in?
And then they end up doing nothing.
Firstly,
Yes, and then they end up doing nothing. So you know, a lot of the programs that I teach, I give them a launch checklist. I give the whole step by step. Do this, do this, do this, do this. Don't worry about this. You know, like, just don't get yourself all confused. Do it in this order, and then you know you'll be able to get to the other end. With the primary, you know, kind of overarching thing to do being to not build it and they will come, because that philosophy, build it and they will come, is not true. Build it, they will not come. Do not build anything unless you know you can sell it. So you first need to build the sales page, talk about what's the result, what's the transformation, what's that worth to somebody in terms of return on investment, get the demand, sell a beta. Then you go build the course when you're being paid to build the course, because that many people have said, oh my God, that sounds like exactly what I need. I want to come and learn that. And then you teach it live and you take the learning and then you build the course. But you don't go and sit and spend 6 months of your life going, with like tech systems and content and building a course for nobody to buy it. So
absolutely, you know, when we onboard our instructors, one thing that we've actually seen is like they get so overwhelmed with the process. So the first thing we say, don't even build the course. Start with a very simple demand test, and we show them how to write the copy for that demand test. And we have this saying, right? It's a very common saying in marketing and sales copies: you're selling a painkiller and not a vitamin. So show them the outcome where it is, what are they getting by taking your course, and what have they already done which has not worked. And then when they actually start seeing these comments flow and saying, I want to take the course, we then actually introduce the technology to be able to build that platform. And very often these LMS services forget the first part, which is so important, because you need to first get the trust of the individual, and it's hard to do. It's time consuming. It's very, very, very draining energy wise, but it's important, because it's only when you can be confident as an instructor can you then actually use technology and platform and whatnot to then build and scale that cohort. Which is why we think the first part's so important. And you're correct, you know, build and they will come, and all you'll hear is crickets.
yeah, exactly. Build it, they go.
We've seen it so often. There was one crypto expert that thought his audience were beginners. So he built out this whole course and whatnot, but then he went back to it and was like, wait, my audience is really intermediate and advanced. They don't really want to know beginner stuff. They already know it. So they need to go back and do the whole thing. But if you had already done a demand test in the most simplest way and just asked, you know, we call this course market fit. Is your course fitting with the audience? And that whole thing would have been sort of, you know, easily circumvented. But yeah, 100% agree.
If I was in your shoes with the ability to do the tech side of it, I would be coming at scaling up your business from a totally different angle. So rather than you be thinking, well, how do we find all these instructors? How do we find all the instructors that need our help? Scaling that up is going to be more difficult than going the way that I'm just about to suggest, which is there are already so many coaches out there that feel like they need a done for you element to their business, and they can't do the tech because they're coaches. They don't know how to do the tech, but you do. So I would be looking to partner with them and white label your tech so that they can brand it in their name. You know, like everybody knows who Amy Porterfield is, right? She is a master of selling courses. But if Amy Porterfield said, come and do my program, and when you get stuck on the tech, I've got a tech partner that will help you, suddenly you're then, you know, you're shot into this like massive audience. You could scale up far more quickly being Amy Porterfield's tech department than you could trying to find a load of instructors. So that would be my angle.
That's a very good idea, and we've been exploring that as well. Another angle that we've been exploring is, one thing we've realized is community within coaches and people who want to do, you know, just build out their own courses. That's so lacking. You need someone to hold you accountable. You need someone to build out that cohort with you. So April onwards, when we come out of our, when we showcase to the world what we're really building, we have this thing called the accelerator. So we're going to handpick 50 instructors that we think are doing some really great work. And we're going to teach them how to actually run a cohort-based course, and then let them use our platform to scale their own sort of course empires. And so that's going live in April. So if anybody's interested in sort of pre-booking your seat, it's completely free. We'll be bringing on loads of pedagogy experts, how to run your cohort-based course, tech involved, all of that will be covered. In 3 weeks, you'll actually be launching your cohort, and we'll make sure that happens. We'll make sure of accountability. So if anyone's interested, just feel free to DM us, or however you want to reach us, really.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Good idea, Rachel. I think we should take this offline. I would love to.
Absolutely. Sounds absolutely brilliant. So that's great. Guys, thank you. That is absolutely incredible. Right. Okay. So how do I there we go. You've been waiting so patiently, Riha. I'm sorry, but how are you? And tell us all about what you guys do.
Well, actually, I mean, I actually love the conversations that are happening. It's pretty, I mean, I think it was a good learning experience for me as well, since I, again, have, I represent my own LMS, which is Graphy. But yeah, I mean, just how, we were talking about the cohort-based courses. That's a model that we had kind of pivoted as well into probably, I guess, earlier, I believe we're in 2022, right? Yeah, that was 2020. And I think, yeah, that pretty much worked very well for a lot of educators who are just starting up, I mean, because they're not ready to, put in their sort of, I think, revenue into something unless and until they know it's going to work for them. But yeah, I mean, along with all of the pivots, we did kind of, work this entire LMS system up. We are on a mission to kind of help, creators, experts, organizations just build their community, knowledge, and business. So Graphy today is basically, this learning management system. It's a SaaS product, which is used by, educators, coaches, consultants, and businesses alike, where they can create their own white labeled websites and apps, of course, whilst curating, absolutely secure, piracy-free, self-paced, or maybe it could be instructor-led courses that allow you to, build all sorts of media in. Like how Rachel's kind of talking about, an LMS does need to have enough sort of, media variability in terms of what they want, just to keep their users and learners kind of engaged. So yeah, that's something that we've really looked into. You can host your live sessions, you can host webinars, you can do extensive tracking and reporting of your sales, even your learner activities, just enabling your public and course-wise forums, building your SEO-friendly blogs. So it's like this all-in-one stop shop for all of your needs as an educator. And yeah, I mean, if this is something that kind of helps an educator out there, I'm always happy to help. So that's probably going to be my 60 seconds in terms of letting you know what Graphy is all about.
No, fantastic. Thanks ever so much indeed. And Rachel, have you got any questions for Riha before we disappear?
No, it sounds great. I mean, it's such a big marketplace, isn't it? There's so many, so many platforms and people that are coming at it from different angles, which adds such richness to the market. Really good.
Absolutely, yeah, I completely agree. In fact, I've got quite a few of my friends who have their, who have kind of positioned their I think their entire academy is over Zenler as well. So I am pretty aware of, the kind of variation that Zenler offers. And I think it's pretty great as well.
I'm really enjoying it. And we're slowly migrating content from one platform into Zenler so that everything is in one place. It's just easier to manage.
Exactly. It's easier to manage your business that way.
Yeah, totally. So I am really enjoying Zenler, all the functionality it's got. But one of the main things is they've got a really helpful community. So if you've got a question, you can get it answered, and they've got a lot of training videos. So I've got a VA who's doing a lot of the background stuff for me. So she's obviously had to go and learn it. I like going in and having a dabble with the funnels, because from a copywriting point of view, if a page is not converting well, you need to go and like level up the page a little bit and make it convert better. But all the hard stuff I leave to other people.
Pretty much. I mean, I completely agree. I mean, that's the kind of things even we are trying to figure out with all of our educators as well. The exact playbook that, kind of you laid out there in terms of, going live, understanding how that response was, and then kind of funneling that into your, evergreen content. I think it says it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Great chat, Ashley.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Reha. I've just seen a question come in, but that was ages ago. So I'm just going to quickly go into my profile on my phone because there's been a few issues with lives at the moment. So if anyone's got any questions, please bang them in. As there's one there just come in. So Ben's asked the question: do you need to film in 360? And there's your answer. I'm just checking to see if there's any other questions coming in elsewhere. No, we've caught up with everything, so that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Rachel, thank you so much. It's been lovely. Lovely to catch up. Is that Cookie shouting in the background?
No, I can't hear it.
I heard a dog a second ago. So
absolutely,
absolutely delightful to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. And let me just bring everybody in. I don't know if we can say goodbye to everybody all at the same time.
Rachel, is your dog named Cookie also?
My dog's called Cookie, yeah.
Ah, same. I never met someone with the same name.
What type of dog have you got?
Cockapoo.
Oh, mine's a Cocker Spaniel.
I love Cocker Spaniels so much.
Yeah, she's so cute.
So anyway, so great talking about dogs today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you so much for coming along. It's been absolutely lovely. Stay on when I hit end broadcast. We'll have a quick chat. But thank you so much, and we will see you again. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of people talking to you. Rachel, thank you so much, and thank you, Lawrence, Luke, and Varun, and Reha. So cheerio, everybody. Thank you. Bye bye.